Right, back at it again. Transfers have ended, so we'll be doing only one transfer update show on the Arsenal podcast. That is on a daily basis to keep you posted and updated around, with what, with whatever transfer news is around Arsenal. What players are we looking at? What players are we linked with? So many outlets, so many parties link us, with different players. And from those come, the true rumors and then the true signings. So we'll be doing this daily transfer news show. So make sure you always check it out. I'll be keeping you posted. Who do we want? Who wants to leave? We have almost 6 players that are running out of contract. 6 players that are running out of contract at Arsenal. That is awful, but we'll be discussing that and more. Anyway, today allow me to talk about Patson Daka, Odsonne Edouard, Aouar. Those are the 3 players making news around the Arsenal transfer window. 3 players making news around the Arsenal transfer news. One is Aouar, and what is really written about Aouar is interesting. He has come out in an interview, an exclusive interview, and he has confirmed it that he is not disappointed that he didn't join Arsenal. He's not disappointed. He's not unhappy that he did not actually join Arsenal. That his move did not materialize, and he says he is happy at Lyon, the team that raised him, where he has his friends and everything. So he says he is actually happy that he didn't actually move from Lyon, to another club, maybe Arsenal, because that we were very close to getting him there. Now, guys, truthfully, that's a lie. And the player wanted to move, and the only problem was how Lyon and Arsenal could reach an amicable price, an amicable agreement on the price, which didn't happen. So there is no way, how Aouar is going to convince us that, he's happy to stay at Lyon and so on. Of course, that's a good piece of PR. I would say every player would say that if their deal, fell off the radar. Every player would say that, I'm happy, I'm going to stay here, we are focusing on this season. That is what all players say. You don't tell me that, you are happy, because a deal that was going to give you more money than the salary you get at Lyon, failed. You don't tell me that you're happy that the deal was going to allow you play in Europe, fail. And you tell us, that you're happy. You tell us you're happy that the deal that was about to take you to the Premier League, the best league in the world, that you're happy that deal did happen. It's interesting, but I think first and foremost, I think the player is very confident that he's not going to stay at Lyon for so long. Even if he didn't make a switch this summer, chances are that he's going to make a switch either next summer or even in the January transfer window. Of course, that might be a little bit hard because not so many teams spend a lot of money in the January transfer window, unless if you have teams like Manchester United that at times go into the January transfer window when they are very desperate. But apart from teams being desperate, I've not seen so many teams spend a lot of money in the January transfer window. If particularly if we talk about Arsenal, you don't think Arsenal is going to spend it's 60 million euros in the January transfer window. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense for me. So if you think about that, and then you think about the summer where so many clubs are going to be competing for him, maybe he thinks he's going to get a better deal. And like he said, this is a club that raised him. He's 22 years of age, so there's no need to rush. But inside him, Aouar, he knows that this was a golden opportunity for in 2020 to play in the English Premier League. And maybe he wouldn't have been disappointed if Arsenal failed to sign him and we didn't sign a top quality midfielder. But failing to sign him for 50 million and then triggering a release clause of Thomas Partey with the same price, really, that is hurting. That hurts. That means the club abandoned you. That means the club, you were not the priority of the club. And we all, all of us know that Mikel Arteta loved him so much, the board loved him, loved him so much. But from the start, he wasn't the priority of Arsenal. The priority of Arsenal was Thomas Partey, and we knew that quite well. So, Aouar and his old PR, I'm really happy. I'm not disappointed that I didn't join Arsenal. You don't tell me that you're not disappointed for failing to, join the best league in the world. You're not disappointed for having failed to join one of the biggest clubs in the world, because Arsenal is way, bigger than Lyon. All of us know that. Bigger than Lyon. We are in the Europa League, and if you look at the structures laid, we have big chances, and we are more ambitious than Lyon right now. We might go back there in the Champions League in the next season or two. We are very different. We are very different on different levels from Lyon. And then he says, he's not happy. He's not disappointed that the deal failed. He's happy that the deal failed. That is crap. Anyway, the Celtic talk also link us with Odsonne Edouard today, a player who scored 27 goals last season. We have been linked with Odsonne Edouard throughout this summer, and I think he's one of those players that we have been linked with from Celtic. After signing Kian Tierney from Celtic, there are so many rumors. There are so many rumors that we might go for another player, another French striker, Odsonne Edouard. 27 goals last season. He's a bowler. That's what I love about him. He's a bowler. One player that always has the ball, and I'm not really I'm not well attracted to his finishing skills, because if it was for finishing, I would then go for Patson Daka. Then another player who's linked with us, today I'll talk about him. But I love his involvement and engagement in the game. He's like Sergio Aguero. Of course, Aguero has very good, finishing skills. Is very clinical, but he plays like that. He's that kind of forward that is always, rotating around that spot. He's never in that, he's never in one place. Very hard to track. And the goals he scored last season, 27, they mean something. If he can do it like this season, it's going to be a hot sell next summer. Still, Odsonne Edouard is not a player I see Arsenal go for in this summer, in this January transfer window. Maybe in the summer, because Alexander Lacazette is 29, Aubameyang is 30, and average age, what's their average age there? I think it is 28 or 29. So that means you cannot have two forwards play for you 3 consecutive seasons when they're in their 30s. Trust me, their performance is gonna drop and so on. Let alone this, these statistics that the best strikers are across Europe are 30 plus, the Robert Lewandowski's and so on. The truth is, we need a young striker. We need a young, serious striker. And Odsonne Edouard, leaving alone the fact that we didn't have enough money this summer, I think he would cost us less this summer, around 38 or 40 million euros. That is what he would cost us. But I think Celtic would want more front cash, of course. But basing on the fact that we have done some business with them, it wouldn't be hard to negotiate our way out. So Odsonne is another player we are linked with. He's a striker, very young, in his early 20s, and looked at by so many other clubs. Would you take him at Arsenal? That is the biggest question. But he's looked at by so many other clubs, and I think if nothing changes, he might end up like Moussa Dembele. You see, he might end up in a club like Lyon or Marseille or something like that for 1 or 2 seasons. Then he goes to a club like Borussia Dortmund, something like that. That is how I see his career if Arsenal do not go for him. But like I said, he's linked with so many other clubs that have interest. So we have to fight the competition if we want to get his signature. The other player is also a forward linked with us. He has been linked with us before in the summer. He's called Patson Daka. Now Patson Daka plays with Red Bull Salzburg, and he also scored 27 goals last season. Probably if you think about Patson Daka, you gotta think about Erling Haaland, and you think, how does Red Bull Salzburg be so good at recruitment, at bringing in players? They had Erling Haaland, he scored baskets and baskets of goal, and then they brought in Patson Daka, and he's doing the same things. His career is raining goals. So, but I think these two players, they're linked with Arsenal, not because there is genuine interest, but because there is a genuine cause. Everybody can see that our front line needs young blood, young, fresh blood. Someone who can score for us 25 goals per season in the next 5 years. And we need that person. We need that person. We are talking about a creative midfielder, but how clinical is that finishing line? How clinical are they? Apart from Aubameyang, we saw Lacazette miss those, two-seaters against Liverpool, and what is, really embarrassing, they're the same goals Jack Grealish scored. An Aston Villa player, top class player, and Lacazette is a top class player playing with Arsenal. He misses the sitter chance, and then Grealish teaches him how to do it. So I think we need that, kind of clinical striker. We need the fresh blood. We need that man who can give us the better, who can make us better, up front. Erling Haaland type. Erling Haaland type. So I think, those are the three players we are linked up, with. Apart from that, we are also still in talks to see which championship side is better for William Saliba. As long as we can establish that, he will be going out. He will be going out on loan. It's 27 million pounds. Imagine, it's 27 million pounds, and we are still throwing him out on loan. We are becoming Chelsea. They have signed players like Marco van Ginkel, and they are still throwing him out, on loan. There are players like, Victor Moses. Anyway, so that is what is transpiring around the transfer world in Arsenal. How Aouar says he's not disappointed for not joining Arsenal. He's happy. Odsonne Edouard linked with Arsenal, a goal machine that scored 27 goals last season for Celtic. And then Patson Daka, another goal machine that scored 27 goals for RB, for Red Bull Salzburg. Who would you want of these three players? I leave that question to you. Like I said, it's rumors. It is rumors, not anything confirmed. Rumors. So don't expect in this show, don't expect things like done deals. Don't expect like personal terms agreed. Don't expect like Arsenal are set to bring in. No, it's just rumors. So we'll be doing it the way it comes in. Love you so much. Have a nice day on the channel. Stay safe and keep yourselves a distance from one another.